Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the Fun of Fantasy Brave Access video. And very quickly, once again, thank you guys for believing in me and giving me my opportunity to get this channel growing and being able to be 6,000 subscribers strong. So, thank you very much for that. There'll be something coming in the coming days. Maybe a live stream. People are saying do a live stream, so I might do that. For those of you who are new to my channel, I actually used to do live streams all the time. But I just felt like I wasn't really that great of a live streamer, and I didn't have a lot of time, so I just stopped doing them. But I might do them. I might do one for the 6,000 subscriber special. Anyways, let's get into Dioses, Joxys. I don't know how to say his name. So yeah, his STMR is very bland. I actually thought that they would be power creeping like huge with this guy to give him like 1,000 flat attack or something, but it's only 500. And we kind of know about the dark vision weapons. Even though he will have a lot of attack with this weapon, technically he'll actually probably get even more with like a 400 attack greatsword, 2-handed greatsword, because the TDH mechanic isn't used for that 500 flat attack. So actually you probably would get more. You'd have like 800 attack with that if it was like a 400 attack greatsword. So his own STMR is just okay for him for now until the dark vision weapon comes out. So he has a leader skill, and apparently a lot of units have leader skills now on JP, but all of them besides him is only 100% to stats, whereas his is 500% attack and magic and also 200% defense and spirit. And keep in mind, guys, this is very similar to a field effect. Not the same, I'm just saying it's very similar where like the stats don't interact with an actual in-game buff. So you could have Aerith 400% attack and magic buff and also have this 500% attack and magic buff. It's not really a buff, it's like a pre-battle preemptive buff. I don't know how to describe it. It's just it does stack. I mean, it does stack. So you might have already seen Sinzar's video where he has a Sephiroth like 14k attack or something like that because of this guy's leader skill. So pretty good. Both sides, and this is something I actually had to add in after the fact. I already made this slide and then I added this in, and I made sure to make a gold text because this is a new passive that no one else has, I believe. He refills his LB every turn. I thought it was only for one turn, but it's literally every turn he refills his LB. So this is unlike where Knights of Grand Shell has a problem with, where they need to LB every turn. He can literally LB every turn, which is actually insane. Really crazy. 150% fire, 150% dark amp. Sorry about that. 100 times mod boost for LB. So on turn 3, turn 2 or 3, it depends on where you're going about this. He's the strongest. Turn 2 and 3 is pretty much going to be his strongest. Because of the dark amp. So there's that. 200% TDH, 500% cap, 100% all killers. That's his level 120 passive. He also has another 100% killers on EX2. I don't really mention those in this slide though. 250% LB damage in the base form. He has multiple shading families. I'm going to be very generous in saying that. Alright, into the Brave Shift form. 200% human killer for himself on an ability, but it costs Lumiferous Crystal, sadly. But if you're not facing human, you really don't care about that. Anyways, the LB is a 40% Greatsword in Peril, not too bad, but I mean, why couldn't it have been 45%? I mean, if he's only being, by the way, he can only equip Greatswords. Dark physical damage 29 times, and then it's 430. It's 530 max, 24 hits. Is it for 5 turns, anyways? So I really don't like this thing where they basically, for a lot of units, they made Tidus STMR pretty much not needed because they have the passive already. So it is what it is. It would have been great if he didn't have that, because then you could equip Tidus STMR in his base form. And then in his Brave Shift form, you could have equipped something very powerful. So his own TMR is pretty much useless, so I wouldn't even bother with that. Alright, let's get into some cons, and there are quite a few, actually. No infinite turns. That's really terrible. I really don't like that. It's the same thing as Knights of Grand Shell, except this guy's not a finisher. He has no mod buffs for himself whatsoever. He has no mod buffs, so he's 530 for 5 turns, and then after that he's 430. No mod buffs at all. No cooldowns, no Granduses, no nothing. Base form is extremely bland, as you can see here. I'm reaching even with saying that he has some chaining options, and that's it. His LB is useless. You would never want to use it. It's like the same thing. Like I can compare it to Sephiroth's LB in his base form. You would never really want to use it. It's the same thing here. It's weak. It's not very strong. So whatever. And like I mentioned, his human killer costs 30 Olympic crystals when you need to be LBing because of that. I mean, I guess you could be doing it after the Dark Amp wears off. If you're fighting a human, you'd get another boost. But other than that, like, why does it cost crystals? And then the rest of his Brave Shift form, like, he has a one-hit move that costs Olympic crystals as well. Why does he even have that? Like, it just feels like they wanted... It feels like this guy is like the beginning... Like, you know, the Squall, the first 7-star Squall, or first Neo Vision Cloud, or, you know, stuff like that. Or is it Lightning? I can't remember if Squall or Lightning was the first 7-star. I can't remember right now. I think it was Squall, though. But one of those things that they become, you know, the first of many. They have a very nice leader skill, but is it going to be like Cloud, the Neo Vision Cloud, where he was very decent at the beginning, but then he gets power crept almost immediately by the next unit down the line? And this guy is premium, by the way. This guy is a premium unit, and his vision card is quite restrictive because it's only for Dark, I believe. I'm going to go ahead and look. I don't know if they'll have it listed here. I think it's only for Dark. So it's like slightly better than Dark. Actually, it is better than Dark Reigns because it's for attack and magic, but it's basically restricted to Dark. So even though he's premium, he doesn't really feel like he's premium besides the leader skill, guys, and a little bit of, like, for Dark Visions, for example, he would be great. There's not a lot of 24 hitters right now. There's very few. There probably more coming out, but there aren't very many to work with. So you'd have to start digging through some units to work with him in terms of chaining 24 hits. Alright, so now with that all out of the way, let's go and reveal the score. Yeah, I'm giving 8.5 because of the leader skill, and because I'm pretty sure in Dark Visions he's going to be a beast in a Dark Fight, or the final boss that you can use Dark on. He'll be a beast. So there's that. So 8.5 out of 10 for Dios, yeah. Anyways, we got Roka, and she's just branded with this Dark Generals Lineage, which I'm assuming, just like last year, there'll probably be more with the same moniker. Her STMR, 242 magic, 2-handed gun, and 500 flat magic just for this Roka. And some killers. Alright, so she has 150% Earth Amp for herself. She reduces cooldowns by 1 for 5 times for 1 ally. 80 times mod buff for the LB, SLB, and 300% store buff on a cooldown. And a 40% Earth Amp field. She just gets to use it. It's an ability. That kind of threw me off guard a little bit. I was like, whoa. Now we're kind of seeing something here. We're kind of seeing a little something here with that. So that's actually pretty spicy. Because usually you have to use an LB, or you have to summon, or do something, or it's on a cooldown, or it's on a Granus that you can only use one time or something, but she just gets to use a 40% Earth Amp field, just like that, snap of the fingers. So that's actually quite interesting. 200% magic TDH, 150% LB damage, 500% cap. She has a lot of killers, 200% killers, it's quite interesting. The LB is a weaker version of the SLB, literally, it's almost the same thing. 35% gun imperil, 130% Earth imperil, and 330 times with the 80 times mod buff. 3 hit Earth magic damage. So I'm not really sure why there's the 3. Why couldn't have, like, we're gonna talk about that. Let's just talk about that. So she has very few useful abilities. Very similar to the Final Fantasy 1 Reign, where they copy and pasted a lot of his Neo Vision abilities. They basically did the same thing here. They gave her a lot of the abilities that she had in her first form for whatever reason. I don't know why they did that. kind of useless. And the LB, SLB have that weird 3 hits. I don't like that too much, but if they're placed correctly, she might be like a 3-hit finisher, or just a weird LB user. Honestly, it would have been better if she was a 24 hit or 27 hit LB, SLB, because the LB is not that strong. The LB, SLB, even with mod boost, is not that strong. So the only thing I can think of using her with is with Yuffie, because Yuffie is also an Earth unit. I can't really think of much else to use her for, really. And also no AoE haste, but whatever, I guess. I don't know when we're going to get that. Anyways, let's go and reveal the score here. So, 7.5, and she's only hanging off of that 7.5 because of that Earth amp field that she just gets to use. Willy-nilly, just however she feels like using, and that's pretty amazing. But other than that, I don't really see much value in her. I don't know how her LB works, if it's good or not. If it actually works properly, like similar to Knights of Grand Shot, where it hits almost immediately after the first one. If it hits once and then it hits once again, like a little bit later, and then again, you might be able to cap three times, maybe, perhaps. But if it hits all 3 at the same time, Or if it's like really delayed where it hits once and then it's like a few seconds later it hits again or something, some theatrical LB, then it's really not very good. So we don't know about that just yet, but 7.5, decent. And then we have one more, surprisingly. I know, right? I'm actually going to talk about Karlette here. So let's talk about Karlette. Her S tier gets upgraded to 80 attack and magic, which is very good. On global, you guys are going to love this, but I don't know if they're going to delay this at all. And I don't know if they're going to delay this, guys, so we'll have to find that out. So she has Pentacast that's not restricted to anything, so she can cast anything 5 times. 250 times mod boost for her LB on a cooldown. So she also has the imbues that have very similar to the Elric brothers, where they can remove the imbues and put on new ones. But these are only for herself, of course. But she can remove the imbues. She also gets 100 times mod boost for abilities, and also another ability that she gets a 300 times mod boost for abilities on a normal ability. And I don't know if this is actually worth it or not, but if she can cap with this, it would be decent, I suppose. 100 times or 1,000 times hybrid damage, 1 hit cooldown. That's why I mentioned like maybe she can cap with it. In her passive, she has 180 times ability mod, so her abilities are going to be hitting pretty hard. 370% attack TDH and magic TDH, so there's that. 500% cap, 150% LB damage, 100% all killers on EX2. I mean, she's an Evolution Awakening, so I'll mention that. She just has no killers otherwise, so she really needs that. She's got Flood, Graviton Cannon, and Tornado reworked black magic upgrades, so remember those are abilities as well, so those might be impacted to be a lot stronger. Her SLB is 600 times, so 300 times for physical and magical. Hybrid damage, fire, lightning, water, and wind and peril of 140%. She also has a huge MP refresh for all allies split over 3 turns, so if you're using both of those, you're going to get a lot of MP back. I think it'll be more than you'll ever need. And also 27 hits, so she'll be working with a lot of units that would like to have that. And a lot of these are honestly just nitpicks because she is very good. For Neva, I mean, yes, on JP she's actually a paid unit, so you kind of expect her to be like super amazing on release. On global, that's why I'm saying I don't know if they're going to delay her or not. Similar to Medina. I'm going to try not... maybe because I hyped up Medina too much, guys, is that why they restricted her to be so late. So I'll try my best not to hype her up too much in videos and stuff, but I'm probably going to make a video on her anyways. But, I don't want her delayed, guys. But, she's still a hybrid unit, so there's mechanical flaws with that, of course, as all hybrid units have. What we saw with Elena, the Starlight Elena upgrades, it doesn't really matter as much anymore. It's just if you have huge firepower, it doesn't even matter. Remember, guys, these are nitpicks. You need to waste a TDH and Magic TDH slot because they gave her just a weird, like, why do you need, why couldn't they have just given her 25% more to have 400% of both? So what I found is, I don't know, maybe on something on global might be better, but the Neovision Kurosami has 75% for both, so it's something, I guess, that I found. And no weapon and perils, but you might be able to find someone who could do that for you instead, I suppose. And she can equip many weapons, so there's that. So let's go and reveal the score for Karlette. 9 out of 10 for a Neovision Awakening. Remember, this is the Neovision Awakening. If she was a Neovision base, you'd probably get a little lower score because no weapon and perils. You know, kind of expect those kind of things at this point. But as a Neovision, I'm judging her as a Neovision Awakening. Remember, she has a 5-star, 7-star upgrade, and she got nothing else. She got no enhancements whatsoever for a very long time. And then she comes out of the gate like this. Huge firepower. So I'm going to be testing her out. I think my alt account might be able to get EX3 Karlette as well, so we'll figure that out, guys. I'll be making a video on her at some point, probably very soon. So with that being said, guys, 9 out of 10 for Karlette, very powerful. Let's not try to hype her up too much, so then Gumi won't know how good she is, and then they'll give her out like normal instead of months down the road. All right, guys, can we make a promise? Can we handshake on that? Pinky swear. Don't tell Gumi. Don't tell Gumi about this, guys. Alright, guys. Thank you guys very much for watching. Again, thank you guys very much for the 6,000 subscribers. A special will be coming very soon. And I hope to see you in the next video. Peace!